Coming up in a ZNS News Expose, we dive into the porn business and how prevalent it is today, especially for young Bahamian girls.
Startling news today out of the coroner's inquest into the deaths of those while in custody.
And the New Providence Women's Basketball Championship comes down to the very last game. Coming up, find out who won. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kendino Knowles.
And I'm Opal Roach. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, child pornography is said to be one of the fastest growing global businesses online, and its content is becoming much worse. With that in mind, police want to ensure that they put a firm grip on this situation so that it doesn't get out of control here in the Bahamas.
And authorities say they have seen a number of cases in recent weeks, and in the ZNS News exclusive, Janaea Noel Ferguson tells us that the police want to put a lid on this so that our youngsters are not on display to the world.
Several days ago, a video of two teens believed to be residing in the Bahamas allegedly engaged in sexual intercourse went viral on a popular social network site. And after several hours and thousands of views and scathing commentary, the video was reportedly taken down. However, it's cases like this that local authorities are noting increases in and are taking action. Officer in charge of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Rowe, says this matter has not been reported, but they are now on the lookout.
Persons need to understand, and young children, the message I think that we need to send to these young girls is that if you are under the age of 18, you have no authority to allow anybody to take photographs of your naked body.
Roll adds that they are currently trying to wrap up a case after they found pictures of a number of young girls posing in sexually suggestive manner with little or no clothing on.
Men, grown men, and some of them call themselves professional photographers, and they're going about parading around as prospectors and approaching the young girls and saying that, and pretending to be prospectors in some modeling agency, and then cause these girls to expose their self, and they're taking photographs of them. Well, we have in the last month, I think it was, placed about 3 of them before the court.
Our news team also found videos on the internet labeled Bahamas Naked Girls showing what is believed to be underage school children engaging in sexual activity. They have also had a number of cases involving adults sharing pornographic images on the internet, and in most cases, Rose says, it involves ex-lovers.
We have seen an increase in incidents where persons are reporting that they took photographs or their boyfriend took photographs with them, and or take explicit photograph with them engage in sexual activities, and then after which they take him, and when they break up or they get angry one day and he wants to get even and use that against her.
Now, Roll is appealing to any young lady out there, if someone has taken nude pictures of you and you are underage, or if your picture has been posted on the internet, to contact police as soon as possible. Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Well, authorities also responding to media reports on the alleged gang rape of students. The article headlined "Gang Rapes Not Reported" suggested that 2 young schoolgirls were raped, and the police did not include the matters in their crime report. Well, contrary to those claims, Superintendent Rowe says those incidents did not come before the police.
I don't know where that information came from. It's not here. We had 2 rape reports over the weekend. One was with a foreign national and the other was with a local, and then there were, I think, 3 over the last week of those unlawful sex, and a couple of those were in Grand Bahama and 2 here in Nassau. They were individual matters, boyfriend, girlfriend situations.
A young man died suddenly in the parking lot of a gas station. Family, friends, and co-workers of 27-year-old Albon Gibson are in some deep pain today after he was found dead in his vehicle, which was parked at the Shell gas station off Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. We're told that Gibson was on his way to work when he stopped at Shell to get a cup of tea after he began feeling ill. However, after getting his tea, he only made it as far as his vehicle. His friend found him a short time later slumped over in his car with foam around his mouth. When they heard the news, family, friends, and co-workers rushed to the scene where police were conducting their investigations. His supervisors and co-workers remember him as a champion.
When he got sick, he developed a passion for God, a deeper passion. And I think for us as young people, we share that passion that Mr. Gibson gave, because when he came to work, he always talked about the Lord. And I think for us, as his co-workers, his memory will live on as a person who lived his life for God. And in the midst of he was sick, if they came to work and he performed his best, may his soul rest in peace.
When you say he was sick, what kind of...
He lost his one of his kidneys last year about the same time. And so he was out of the hospital, so he was on the machine.
So when did you last see him? Did you see him?
Well, I spoke to Gippy last night on Facebook. And he encouraged me in the care of Marcus, don't lose faith, I'm going to be all right. And today we received the news he passed, and so sad and shocked.
But I must say that we surely, as the company, will miss him, and will try to find officers that will replace him, which may be very difficult.
Now, Albon had been an employee at Express Bahamas Limited for 5 years. He was initially employed as an armor truck driver, but was later assigned to the control room department after he became sick.
Apparently, there's a hunger strike by some at the detention center. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigration confirms that it is aware that some Cuban nationals are staging that strike. We understand that the Cuban ambassador has been notified. Government assures the public that all appropriate steps are being taken to monitor the situation and will keep the public informed of any new development. Well, the coroner's inquest into the death of Aaron Roll continued today with the testimony of police officer Carl Smith. He said the 23-year-old never complained about injuries or pain or indicated that he needed to see a doctor while in custody. Roll was reportedly picked up in good health from his Ross Corner home on February 6th, and days later he was found dead in a cell at the Southern Police Station. A pathologist report indicated that he died from a ruptured intestine and internal bleeding caused by blunt force trauma. During today's proceedings, Smith said that he and Roll got into a brief struggle at the station after he told the 23-year-old that he was going to charge him. During that struggle, he said Officer 2126 Smith hit Roll 2 to 3 times with a baton near the thigh area. The inquest continues tomorrow. Christina Galanis is representing the Roll family. Still on the courts, more testimony today in the trial of the man accused of killing his lover.
The victim was found dead 2 years ago with over 30 injuries about the body. Fern Carey is on the case for us.
Police Detective Mark Anthony Barrett, the only witness testifying in the Prince Hepburn murder trial on Wednesday. Hepburn is accused of the brutal murder of Nellie Brown Cox 2 years ago. Prosecutors allege that Hepburn ambushed the victim at an apartment in South Beach, killed her, and then confessed later to the crime. During today's proceedings, Barrett testified that he and Prince Hepburn's attorney, Krista Smith, were present in the interview suite at CDU back on April 13th of 2011 when Detective Sergeant Keith Roll questioned Hepburn in connection with Brown Cox's murder. According to the detective, Hepburn refused to answer any questions or sign a statement on the advice of his attorney. Meantime, a pathologist testified earlier that Brown Cox died from multiple lacerations to the body and sustained over 30 injuries to the head and body. Attorneys Franklin Williams and Basil Cumberbatch are prosecuting the case. Nathan Smith, Krista Smith, and Maria DeSeal make up the defense. Justice Indra Charles is presiding over the trial. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
In our first look at whether a cold front will push through northwest Bahamas tomorrow, but meanwhile outside of our studios we have partly cloudy skies, temperatures 76 degrees, relative humidity 79%. Your winds are out of the east at 3 knots, barometric pressure 1,011.3 millibars. That translates to 29.86 inches, and it is falling. But stay tuned, temperatures around the Farming Violence travel and boating forecast is still to come.
Well, coming up, how business will boom on a small family island.
And the New Providence Women's Basketball Championship go down to the wire. Find out who won coming up in ZNS Total Sports. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited, fueling growth for people.